meeting to order. Our first order of business is item 1.02, Marietta City Schools Flexible Return to Teaching and Learning Update from Dr. Grant Rivera.
Thank you. It's good to be with the board this evening in a slightly new and different format. So thank you to each and every one of you for joining us and those that are viewing now. I wanted to provide just a very high-level overview of what we observed today as we opened up phase one, pre-K2, across our elementary schools, and then for students with disabilities served through low incidence classes in grades 3 through 5. So today we had 49% of our students, as we went into phase one, choose to stay virtual, full-time virtual. We had 51% of our students in pre-K2 and then grades 3 through 5, special education, low incidence, opt for in-person. Again, remember that 2-day rotation, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. I had the chance today to visit every school, walk every hallway, see most of our classrooms. I can tell you that it felt good and looked good to see our kids back in classes. I will share with the board, some of you may have seen this. So in addition to the risk mitigation strategies that we put in place, such as temperature checks and hand sanitizing and extra cleaning and what have you, as I walked through classrooms, I saw this, which was really the partition that we had for each student and each teacher throughout the building. So just, again, it was, from an operational standpoint, it went exactly as we had hoped. We got the kids to school safely. We got them through the car rider line with temperature checks and what have you. We got into classes. There was learning happening throughout the day, and I think more than anything, the relationship that occurs in person. And then we got every child home. So as I was sitting up here just a few minutes ago, I got the confirmation that we've got all the kids home as well as today. As we look ahead, we are looking at what we've called phase two, which is 4 days, Monday through Thursday. We are hosting town halls. We held the first one earlier today. We'll do another one actually after this board meeting for families in grades 3 through 5. Really just trying to create the opportunity for further clarification on what October 5th could potentially look like. And then we're continuing to plan and look ahead for middle school and high school. There have been continued good news relative to some of the data points that we are tracking at the recommendation of health experts. Specifically, the 14-day case rate has continued to drop, so that's encouraging. So we're really moving forward with every intention and every hope that we can continue to proactively put safety strategies in place and provide a high level of two-way communication with families and staff who will walk through this with us together. So that really is just a high-level overview of where we are. Certainly willing to take and answer any questions you may have.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that update. Our next item is 1.03, fundraisers with Dr. Walters Brazil.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Rivera. The first item I bring is a biannual event we bring twice a year. And so this is the recommendation of the fall school-sponsored fundraisers. However, I want to bring to your attention, several of the schools went ahead and put in some of their fundraisers for the entire year. And then some of them asked if I would be gracious enough to bring some back just because they were uncertain of what they were going to do with fundraisers in case they wanted to add some. So this may come back more than it does normally in a school year. So this is the first presentation to approve the fall school-sponsored fundraisers.
Dr. Walters Brazil, can you speak to most of these fundraisers being virtual? It's kind of in line with...
Right now, most of them are all virtual, so you're going online to complete something. Some of them are planned for when students do come back, or they'll do some different like sale type items and things like that. I do think like Park Street doesn't have one on here. They're waiting. They also wanted to wait till they got into their new building. So I think that you'll see some of those fundraisers come back with a combination of in-person and virtual.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Are we okay for consent?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, great. 1.04, Renaissance software renewal.
All right, so this is just the renewal of the license for Renaissance. This is actually used at 3 of our schools, so you'll see that this is used at Dunleaf Elementary, Sawyer Road, and Marietta 6th Grade Academy. We have been tracking this data. These are schools who use this program consistently, so we're recommending the renewal of this program for those schools.
Any questions? Y'all good with consent?
Yes.
Okay. 1.05, Edgenuity and Compass Learning software renewal.
Okay, so this one's coming in, we were just going to bring Edgenuity, but what we decided to do, Edgenuity and Compass are actually purchased by the same company. So what we did was we were able to renegotiate this contract and do a 3-year contract. And so by doing that, we're able to save the district 18.5%. So the annual cost is $79,992 with a 3-year cost of $39,976. And know that each year we do have an option to get out of that contract.
Dr. Walters-Brazil, can you just give like a 30-second summary of what these programs are?
Absolutely. So Edgenuity is used mostly at our high school. So a lot of our students complete courses independently online. Some of our students will take courses to maybe a health course or something to kind of get some more time in the regular classroom. Compass is actually partnered with our MAP. So, we give MAP through our testing, and we're able to assign those programs. One thing, we did pull a usage report on this. Generally, it's only used K through 8, but the high school has started using Compass the last couple years as well. It's really important this year as we're trying to look at where we have students with learning gaps, because we can go in once we give the MAP assessment and assign individual assignments. And just so you know, this year the high school actually administered MAP all the way up through the 11th grade. So we're pretty pleased with that. I think we're at about 5,000 tests that we've already finished with MAP. So we're doing well, and we gave that for the first time virtual. That was a first for us. I won't say that it was easy, but we did pull it off.
Thank you.
Are y'all okay with consent for this item?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. 1.06 CTAE local plan and FY 2021 grant budgets. Dr. Brittany Wilson.
Good evening, Board of Education and Superintendent Rivera. Happy to present to you item 1.06. It is the CTA local plan and the FY21 grant budgets. What happens, just to give you a quick overview of this, these grants are submitted in May, and then they are awarded in July. So then we allocate those resources accordingly to the grants, and we received $397,500, and it is required to do a matching portion of that for $89,316. So it is the recommendation of the superintendent that we approve the local plan and then do the matching grant funds.
Does anybody have any questions? Are y'all okay with consent?
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Wilson, also equipment purchase, AV technology pathway.
Yes, the next 3 items, 1.07, 1.08, and 1.09, all deal directly with the grant funding that is received through the capital equipment grants. The first one is for the audio video technology pathway. We received $90,000 capital equipment grant for that, and this is for a total of $78,091 to put equipment in that facility, in that lab.
Okay. Y'all good with consent on that item?
Yes.
Okay, construction pathway?
Same thing, we received $84,000 in capital equipment money there, and this is for $41,000 to outfit that program.
Any questions? Good for consent? Okay, and then finally 1.09 for healthcare.
This one's kind of cool. So for the healthcare pathway, they're looking to purchase an ambulance simulator to use in that program,
That's awesome.
and that's for $32,000.
Can you just describe what that is, the ambulance?
Actually, I
simulator?
brought with me this evening Miss Julie O'Meara that can come up and tell you exactly what that is.
Great,
Because
awesome. Yeah, that sounds cool.
and I think we actually have a real ambulance too, and she may want to share that story with you.
Interesting.
Good evening. I shouldn't have sat in the back. Sorry you had to wait on me. We do have an ambulance out in our parking lot. I don't know if you've ever noticed it. It's a Gwinnett County ambulance, and we got it for free, so you don't turn down anything for free, right?
Right.
But we really didn't think it all the way through. Even under construction, we still didn't have a doorway wide enough to bring this ambulance into our building. And it's kind of old and broken down anyway, so what we're talking about getting is state-of-the-art. It includes all the life support gadgets, a CPR seat. It's got all the control panel. It's got all the LED interior lights. It's got the oxygen. Some of these things I'm not sure what they are. It's got the sharps container. It's got the IV hanger. It's got the locking narcotics cabinet. It's got it all. It comes with a striker stretcher, and it's got all the bells and whistles. So there's a lot of ambulances, and they're all very expensive, and we feel like this was the least expensive model, but we still think it's a really good product. So we didn't think we needed to spend $20,000 more. We did a lot of shopping around and felt like this was the best use of our resources.
Along those lines, so as far as the instruction goes, you want to be an EMT, you did the healthcare pathway. Do you go further along in that training, the healthcare pathway, before you go to EMT school? How does that work?
We have 4 healthcare pathways. We have the biotechnology, we have the certified nursing, emergency medical responder, and sports medicine.
Okay.
So the culminating course in the emergency medical responder is, there's still additional training, obviously, to go on, but you will be ready. You'll have the first aid certifications, the CPR, and a couple other life-saving certifications, but you're just a couple months away from being a certified EMT, just a little bit further at Chattahoochee Tech, and you'll be ready to go.
That's awesome. Cool.
And there's a huge shortage of EMTs. So employers are calling us looking for kids all the time. So if we've got a pipeline we need to fill.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is everybody good with consent on the ambulance?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Now we have a few items with Mr. Gardner. The first one is 1.10 hotspot renewal.
Yes, good evening, everyone. 1.10 is hotspot renewal. You'll remember back in March with our initial hotspot purchase, we had 400 hotspots that were from T-Mobile, and we are wishing to continue with those. You'll remember last month we renegotiated some on the new school district $20 a month plan. These are already at that $20 a month rate, so that's helpful. So that's the hope is that we can just leave those in the hands of the students. So this is simply a renewal for up to 6 months if we decide that we need it as we progress through the phases. So the cost is $48,000, and it will be coming from a combination of grant funding and general fund. Any questions?
Are y'all good with consent?
Yes.
Okay, the next 2 items do need action. 1.11 bus hardware and software renewal.
Yes, so this is our Synovia Solutions software that we utilize on our buses. This is a renewal, but in this particular renewal, we're actually asking, or the company will be providing additional hardware that needs to be installed on the buses. And so in upgrading those, trying to get that done prior to the next phase of students returning, we are asking for action. It really does everything that it has done in the past. But the software is going to a 4G solution, so it'll be faster. And then it also will include RFID technology, which we hope to leverage in the future, which would actually allow us to have students badge on and off of buses. So that's a pretty neat upgrade. The cost is $54,204. That is an annual cost. And it is through an educational cooperative service contract, which I've noted here, that Synovia uses with multiple school districts. Any questions?
Can I get a motion to approve?
so
Mr.
moved.
Waters, second by Ms. Behrens. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, 1.12 HVAC replacement at West Side.
Yes, we have a failing HVAC unit at West Side in the cafeteria. It is running on 50% capacity right now, so there is still air conditioning there. But we want to go ahead and get this replaced prior to the other 50% of the unit failing. So you'll see the 3 quotes there. The winning bid was from Wilson Air at a cost of $19,629. It will come from general fund. This will actually be a weekend install, so they'll have to bring in a helicopter to put it up on the roof, so you might want to come watch. Any questions?
Okay, if I could get a motion to approve. Ms. Minervini, seconded by Mr. Waters. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, 1.1 through HVAC filter service.
Yes, this item, we annually negotiate a contract to come through and change our filters on our HVAC units. We have actually increased the filtration in light of the CDC recommendations, so the cost did go up somewhat. We do have 3 bids there. Purified Air Services, which is our current provider, won the bid at a cost of $43,206. And this is a 1-year agreement with 3 options to renew. Any questions? It's coming from general fund.
Are y'all okay with consent? Yes. Okay. 1.14 Safari Montage renewal.
Yes, so Safari Montage is a software that is utilized for digital content for all of our MCS schools. It's also a program that many of our schools utilize for daily morning announcements. It has a lot of K-12 content-specific stuff that is used in classrooms. The agreement's for 1 year. We are currently using it, and we see good usage. The cost is $23,086, and it's coming from general fund. Any questions?
Y'all okay with consent?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gardner.
Thank you.
1.15 Amplify Science Software for the middle school. Mrs. Franklin?
Good evening. This item is a recommendation to approve the renewal of Amplify Science software at Marietta Middle School. This is used in 8th grade physical science. It's a web-based curriculum, and the students think like scientists. It requires the appropriate level of rigor to encourage the development of science skills and engineering practices in 8th graders, and the interpretation of data and evidence. The cost is $15,000, and the school funds that from their local school consolidated funds.
Any questions? Are y'all good with consent?
Yes.
Okay, the next item, 1.16 Instructional Tutoring Services at Lockheed, does need action.
Yes, the superintendent recommends the board approve contracts for instructional tutoring at Lockheed Elementary School. They wish to contract with 2 teachers to provide tutoring services for students who need additional assistance in core subject areas. This is for 1 year. The cost of each individual contract will not exceed $25,000. Total cost not to exceed $50,000. The school will fund part of this from their consolidated funds, and we will be taking a portion from grant funds as well.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, if I could get a motion. Okay, we'll say Ms. Orange made the motion and Mr. Levine second. All in favor? 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is Gemalto renewal with Mr. Gwynn.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Vera. Bringing to you the Gemalto background and fingerprint contract renewal this evening. It allows us to use GBI and FBI resources, which gives us the highest standard for background check. So we would like to renew that for next year. There is a slight increase in fee. It went up $2.25 per background check. Typically, this does go above the $15,000 threshold, which is why we're bringing it to you. But it all just depends on how many people actually are background checked. So it's out of the general fund, and again, a $2.25 increase for this year. Any questions?
I have a question. Is this like when someone is a new hire, or is this something we do more often than that?
It is with a new hire, and then also we require all of our employees to receive a background check every 5 years. Yeah.
Great. Is everyone okay with consent?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, I would like to ask for a motion to enter executive session to discuss land and personnel matters, if I could get a motion for that. Ms. Barron, second by Ms. Minervini, all in favor? 6-0. Okay, we will adjourn and be back. 6-0. We do not have any administrative actions to approve tonight. I do want to thank everyone who helped us get set up for tonight and this new social distancing, and also being able to use the impact was very helpful. And I specifically want to thank Mr. Patterson, Mr. Dempsey, Mr. Bradley, Ms. Brock, and Ms. Landrum, and anybody that unfortunately I may have missed. But thank y'all so much for your help in getting this going, and we'll look forward to next week as well. So I think we're adjourned. Thank you.